This is the Shark Tank in San Jose, where the local hockey team has been nothing but chum for opponents, but the fans still come. They still believe. The Sharks hope the turnaround starts tonight. The Vancouver Canucks season took a turn for the worse 16 days ago. That's when Pavel Bure's season ended with a knee injury in Chicago. The two-time 60-goal man gone. But not to fear, Alexander the Great is here. Alexander Mogilny's 18 goals have kept the Vancouver ship afloat since the rocket burned out. Mogilny, who once upon a time had more than 70 goals in a season at Buffalo, is on that same pace again. And you have to wonder where the Canucks would be without Alexander the Great. Meanwhile, in San Jose, the Sharks are becoming an endangered species with just 2 victories. But there is hope. Former New Jersey backup goaltender Chris Terreri has brought much-needed stability in the net. Owen Nolan, another new face in the lineup, brings experience and feistiness and a winning attitude, plus a scoring touch that has not been seen at the Shark Tank this year. But will it be enough to vanquish Vancouver tonight? And welcome everyone to the San Jose Arena in San Jose, California. Fire and Ice on ESPN2 tonight as Vancouver's Canucks end a long road trip taking on the struggling San Jose Sharks of only 2 wins in the season. Good evening to you, everyone. I'm Tom Mees along with Darren. Set for NHL action live from San Jose. Our referee is Mick Magoo. The linesmen are Shane Heyer and Barron Parker. I'm Tom Mees with Darren Pang, and we're underway here in San Jose, where they're trying to find their way to a victory. Only 2 victories for the Sharks this season. Who'd have thought that? On a giveaway right away. Martin Jelena scores for Vancouver. 14 seconds into the play. The Sharks, who can't afford it, gave Vancouver a goal.
Not the proper way to start inside your own building when you've been on the road for as long as the San Jose Sharks have been on the road. But for the Vancouver Canucks, what a way to start a game in which they have traveled across, the United States, and a bad giveaway leads to the first goal of this game. Craig Janney has one hand on his stick. Martin Jelena takes advantage, and watch the top shelf. He goes over the glove, the left shoulder of Chris Terreri. Terreri has a bad shoulder, left the game against the Detroit Red Wings. Wondered before this game if that was going to bother him. Great shot by Jelena, though. Jelena's 9th goal of the season, unassisted at 14 seconds. If you're sarcastic, you may give 1 assist to Craig Janney, but we're never sarcastic here. Here's Doug Bodger for San Jose. Stick to the corner by Kurt McLean. And all the way down the ice, it'll be icing on the Canucks as Tommy Peterson touches up. Well, the crowd, many of whom not in their seats yet, coming in, looking up at the scoreboard and saying, what happened? Well, what happened was there was a couple of San Jose Sharks right along their own blue line. And Martin Jelena took advantage of the fact that Janney had one hand on his stick. And you saw the 3 Sharks right in one area, not spread out. And then he just let that one rip, a left-handed shot from this angle. You see how high it got up and quick. I mean, he knew exactly where he was going, trying to get Terreri to go down on one knee, and that's exactly what Terreri did. Here comes Cliff running cross ice to Alexander Mogilny to Roman Oksuda. Oksuda tied up nicely by Whitney of San Jose. Oksuda doing some nice work in the Shark zone. And a penalty coming up. Mick Magoo has a penalty whistled on San Jose's Ray Whitney. That's the preliminary indication. I believe holding will be the call. So 1 minute has gone by. San Jose is guilty of a turnover in their own zone, which leads to a goal. And now they take a penalty. They're going to call on Owen Nolan. He's the guilty party. So Vancouver will get a chance to the first power play of this game. Bad start for the San Jose Sharks. Right in the center of your screen, the stick of Owen Nolan, right in the midsection of one of the Vancouver Canucks. So it's an interference call. The puck wasn't anywhere near him. And so now Vancouver gets a chance in the power play with Ridley, Linden, and Mogilny up front. Oh, Nolan under a little heat here in San Jose already. Only 1 goal in his last 10 games. They didn't get him for that. Now he's in the box. And Dave Babbage put a bullet on Terreri, but he saw it all the way. And he knows that Babbage likes to shoot him low, and he made the save. He saw that all the way. But for Chris Terreri, I was talking about his left shoulder. That's the glove side. And this type of injury that he had, it wasn't directly from a shot. They still can't figure it out. But the game that he left against Detroit, he just felt weak with that shoulder. So he's been going through some extensive rehab
even on game days, working a big lead baseball and trying to rotate it and get some strength there, but it's your glove side. I think that's a big problem. I experienced that while I was playing, and if you rely on your glove like Terreri does, that can be a big problem.
Ridley over to Linden, broken up there by Kevin Miller. He's sent down to the ice. Now it's Mogilny in the corner. You got Babic and Jyrki Lumme on the points on this Vancouver power play. Ridley, who's been suffering from a bad back much of the season. Captain Trevor Linden been shifted around a bit. Ridley double teamed in the corner. Babic over to Linden. Top of the circle. And low to Ridley. Lume's got a lot of ice to shoot, but San Jose clears it. Canucks carry back in. You can see their power play has been anything but powerful. Under 20% on the season.
I think that all stems, in fact, on that first power play, Jeff Brown not on the ice, and he, of course, has been the mainstay of their power play unit. Instead, the veteran Dave Babic, who's had a real solid year for Vancouver.
Hennigan up to the breaking Cliff Ronning. Ronning over to Roman Aksuda. Aksuda ends up on the stick of Hennigan at the point. Down to Ronning down low. Hennigan, the former St. Louis Blue, cross ice to Brown, who's got a good shot. Terreri the save. Cliff Ronning is on it. 30 seconds to go, and the Nolan penalty for interference. Russ Courtnall stationed in front, but they couldn't get him the puck. Courtnall now in the corner. Off the stick of Peterson, but still in the Shark zone. 20 seconds to go in the Vancouver man advantage. Ronning down low. Aksuda back to Ronning. Shot is wide. Rebound score. Roman Aksuda. And it's a quick power play goal and a quick 2-0 lead for Vancouver.
Excellent puck movement by the Canucks, using the perimeter first to gain a little bit of room in front of Terreri. The first shot faked by Ronning. Ronning puts it right to Aksuda. Aksuda gives it right back to him. This shot just barely goes wide. Watch the quick hands of Aksuda. It's right on the tape. I mean, he just turns around. He's got it on the forehand. He takes one quick look, and bang, it's in the short side. Look at the quick rebound from the boards. Whoa! Just trapped it with the toe of his blade and fired in the open side. Terreri had no idea where that puck went once it hit the boards.
Ninth goal for Roman Aksuda. 2 minutes and 49 seconds on the power play. We'll get the assist when they're announced here at the arena. So a familiar script for Kevin Constantine and his Sharks. Down early. By the way, that first goal of the game by Jelena is a record for the fastest goal against San Jose. The previous record was 19 seconds in a game by Gino Cavallini back in 1993.
That's no way to start a hockey game, huh? I mean, if you're thinking of the San Jose Sharks and being in their own building, haven't been here with the Chris Terreri in net, have struggled.
Jyrki Lumme for Vancouver, who dominated this game. Shots on goal 4-1 in favor of the Canucks, and 2 of them have found their way past Terreri, but he cannot be faulted for either goal. Jelena. Joseph Baranek breaks in. Sandlak cuts to the net. And Terreri just grabs out of midair with Sandlak on the doorstep. Well, at San Jose Arena, the crowd, another sellout, is in shock. Maybe they shouldn't be. They've seen this a lot already this year, down early.
It's really a shame. They've been, it looked like they were in such a great development pattern. So many young hockey players, especially behind the blue line. But expectations high when you go to the Stanley Cup playoffs a couple of years in a row and challenge a couple of years ago. Gosh, that was a great series. It was one crossbar that Johan Garpenlov hit past Felix Potvin. That would have been the difference in that series. So Rick Lee, though, on the other hand, for the Vancouver Canucks, it's really a tale of 2 stories here. Both these teams have struggled in the same manner, and that is inside their own blue line. Certainly, there hasn't been the systematic approach that both teams have experienced in the past. And so Rick Lee right now really under the gun with the Vancouver Canucks, and big demands in Vancouver with the new NBA team there as well in terms of the popularity stuff.
Yeah, the Grizzlies and the Canucks. The Grizzlies now winning the attendance battle. Now there's Kevin Constantine. Here's a guy October 10th gets a new 3-year deal, and he's seen everything fall out from under him on the bench.
One thing he's talking about, though, is our demeanor has been better, a little more upbeat. And I think he was speaking following the game against the Chicago Blackhawks, game in which they went into the United Center and won that game by a score of 3-2. Terreri in goal for that game. But now you got to get that demeanor up right now and tell guys it's going to be okay when you're down 2-0.
Oh, we got a penalty here. Action Doty Wood for San Jose, and he wants a piece. Yeah. Wants a piece of Alex Stoyanov of Vancouver.
How about the difference in size here? Stoyanov, 6'4", 230 pounds. Wood goes 6 feet. He looks a little shorter. Good bout.
I think Wood is taking.
Whoa!
He's taking one for the team right now, Darren.
Oh boy,
He's getting pummeled.
Alex has had that right hand loose. And he caught him on the left side of his face a couple of times. But Dodie Wood's a scrapper. He's a feisty guy that won't give up on this bout.
48 penalty minutes for Wood. He's one of the leaders for San Jose.
Uh-oh, look at that. He's got him going now. Stoyanov went down on his knees, so Wood took advantage of that.
This is longer than some of Mike Tyson's bouts. Well, the combatants are going to take a rest. This was a good scrap, and I think Dodie Wood is trying to send a message here early.
I tell you, this is a gutsy move by Wood, but he hammered him from behind. I mean, he hammered him. He was looking for it right off the get-go. I mean, he wanted him. There's no doubt about that. That was a dangerous hit from behind. A very dangerous hit, because Stoyanov was in a vulnerable position, facing the boards, had no idea where Dodie Wood was. You see the hands of Stoyanov? He's going like,
come on. Come on. He's egging him in there.
Man, he looked like such a quiet guy in the elevator down from the hotel room today, too, getting ready for this hockey game.
Look at that angelic face. My goodness. Well, more hockey action Monday night on the Deuce. We'll be in Madison Square Garden, New York. You need not say any more than the Devils and the Rangers. Oh, I can feel the heat 2,500 miles away. We'll be there Monday night at 7:30 Eastern. Wednesday night, Philadelphia Flyers go south. But I don't mean that in a negative way. They're going down to play the Florida Panthers in the top two teams down the Atlantic Division. The Panthers and the Flyers. Yes, the Pucks and the Rats may fly at the Miami Arena. The Florida Panthers, a surprise team of the NHL. You'll see that matchup Wednesday night on ESPN2 at 7:30 Eastern time.
Trevor Linden and his Vancouver Canucks are going on the power play for the second time in this game. A minor penalty to Wood, as expected. And 2 minutes for the instigation, of course, wanting a piece of that fight. But the road power play of the Vancouver Canucks, Tom, has been brilliant. 23.5%. That's ranked third in the NHL. So overall, only 10th in the NHL, but I tell you, they feel a lot more comfortable when they get on the road than playing at the old garage, the GM place in Vancouver.
Well, the GM place garage, I get it.
That's what they're calling it there, the garage. And it's a new place. It's brand new, and it's beautiful.
Oh, McGillney found on it, Lume from the right point. Now it's Babbage. Babbage and Lume along with McGillney and Linden and Mike Ridley to open up this Vancouver power play. You know, the Canucks led the league in road power play percentage a couple of years ago. Oftentimes, it's easier to get that power play unit together and perform calmly on the road than it is at home, where the fans are always urging you to shoot.
Yeah, you go on the road, you don't have to be pretty, just simple hard work, nothing fancy about it.
Morgilny. Linden. Babbage keeps it in at the point. Trevor Linden to the corner. Morgilny bounces it out to Lume, nothing there. Still a minute to go in this power play. And taking a dive and drawing the penalty was Mogilny. Oh my goodness, 2 men short will be San Jose. Michael Sikora called for the hook on Mogilny. What
did the Sharks do to infuriate these referees? Because they're not getting any breaks here. None whatsoever. None. It's hard to believe that a call was made on that one. Not based on what has happened, not based on them being shorthanded. Let's take another look at it, maybe from this angle. Now, Mogilny loses control right there, cradling the puck, and he's leaning one way. Oh, boy, oh, boy. I tell you what, Mogilny, smart customer, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Went down in a hurry, and the youngster, Michael Sikora, one of the guys we're talking about in the opening for this game, one of the youngsters, one of the developing defensemen, is in the penalty box now. And so the San Jose Sharks, well, I've told you before, you can gain a lot from killing a big penalty, too. This is the time where they have to gain a whole lot of emotion.
Well, they're down 2 goals already.
And now 13, Baker broke his stick.
So they've got 2.5 sticks and 3 players out there. Hedick in the shot. Doesn't get through on Terrari. Now in the slot, Jeff Brown in front. A little bit of pretty passing. Taking the shot now, taking it. Brown hits the leg of Peterson. Russ Cardinal in the corner. Canucks looking to take command of this game early. Already up 2-0. They'll have a 2-man advantage for 30 more seconds. Shot by Hedican goes wide. Jeff Brown. Down low, Russ Cardinal maneuvers, and Terrari sticks it aside.
Good stick play by Terrari, deflecting that pass.
Jeff Brown Little touch pass. He playing catch with Hennigan. Hennigan tried to get it to Courtnall, didn't click. In 8 seconds, it'll be a 5-on-4, and the Sharks clear the zone.
Oh, what great work by Jamie Baker without a stick. Blocked a couple of shots. Wow, great penalty killing.
Now it's 5-on-4. Odgers, who was serving the odd penalty for Dodie Wood, is out of the box. And Kevin Miller ought to be able to clear it. He does. Still part of the stick of Jamie Baker is all the way back in the Vancouver end.
Picture it. He did that right off the face-off. And so he was stuck without a twig for about a minute and 20 anyway.
Terreri sends it to the corner. Jason Moore intercepts. Short-handed. Here come the Sharks. Jeff Odgers. He's onside. Rather freezing. Freezing the shot just wide glove side. Shame on me getting Friesen and Odgers mixed up. Skating style not remotely the same. Here comes big Trevor Linden. Back into the Shark zone with 13 seconds left on this power play. Lume at the point, pressed there by Owen Nolan. Takes the shot. Terreri down, but the rebound is cleared out by Friesen. And the Sharks have killed off the two-man disadvantage, Darren.
Well, like I said, and you can feel it right here. That is exactly what San Jose needed. Trailing in this game, needed some emotion.
But here comes Vancouver's Ridley. Oh. Canucks Lume keeps it in the zone, but puts it right on the stick of Craig Janney. Janney at center. Whitney and Nolan. Shot is wide as Janney, a reluctant shooter, let that one rip. Now Mike Ridley from his knees to Linden. Back to McGillney. To Linden the shot, and it's deflected wide by Bodger. Janney's at center, but he's all alone. Now to Owen Nolan, the former Colorado Avalanche star. Off the stick of Kirk McLean. McGillney at center for Vancouver. Breaks in 1-on-3. Taken down. No penalty that time. That was probably more warranted than the last one.
Only so many you take, you know, before the guy in the striped suit catches on with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got a point. Jamie Baker for San Jose. Back pass to no one in particular, and here comes Martin Gelinas. Gelinas with Jim Sandlak off his boot on the stick of O'Donnell. Sharks have a bit more zip in their stride after killing off that penalty.
As compared to what, the first 30 seconds when they were down 2-0?
Well, they had no zip.
Tough way to start a hockey game. Preparation's a big part of it, and when you give up a goal or score a goal in the first minute or last minute of a hockey game, it is big, and that's a fact. And we're seeing it here.
Loose puck at center for Hennigan. 9 minutes in. 2 early goals, but the Vancouver Canucks have them on top. Marcus Ragnarsson, another one of those young defensemen. Very offensively minded. Kevin Miller at center. Friesen tries to split the defense, no go. Fans with that rhythmic applause here at San Jose. They are wonderful supporters of this hockey team. Ray Shepherd into the corner. Down goes Friesen looking for a call. None forthcoming. Russ Courtnall. Long pass. It's onside to Tim Hunter. Sends the shot wide. Dean Malcom. In the Vancouver end off the stick of Scott Walker. And here's Doug Bodger for San Jose. Craig Janney dumps it in for the Sharks. Shepherd chases in the corner with Lume. He and Whitney. Janney in the corner trying to set it. Roman Aksuda recovers from Vancouver up to Mogilny. Mogilny double team still. Gets penetration in the slot, but back comes Ray Shepherd for San Jose. Drop pass to Janney. A lot of room to shoot. Passes instead. Crowd booing. They wanted 15 to shoot. He had a clear path. That's one of those tendencies that Janney's had throughout his career. His stats are good, but they're enormously weighted on the assist side of the ledger.
Well, the Sharks are back in it emotionally anyway because of that guy, Jamie Baker, off the faceoff while killing a 5-on-3. Look at his blade. It's broken. He has to get rid of that now. Now he's got to kill a pitch tough enough with a stick. Look at the work he's got to do. Staying on top in the triangle on the penalty kill. Goes down once like an old ball hockey goalie. Look at this one. Great block with the shoulder. And that enabled the San Jose Sharks to continue killing off that power play from Vancouver. Terrific play by Baker.
Sharks trying to put some pressure on now the Vancouver end. Dave Babich relieves it by clearing it down the ice, and the icing appears to be in order. Jason Moore touches up face-off. Back in the Vancouver end with just under 9 minutes to go in the period. Well, reminder, the NHL tonight, coming up tonight right after our game. It's a hockey show for the hockey fans. That is a terrific show. We said it time and time again, but it's true. All the highlights, all the scores, and all the news and features around the NHL. This is a very busy night in hockey. You'll want to stay tuned right after our game tonight. It's every Tuesday through Saturday at either 11:30 Eastern or after the game. And tonight it will be after the game because it'll be morning by the time the game ends. Canucks get tied up in their own end. Jason Cullimore finally chop it to center. Evan Miller sweeps it in for San Jose. Trevor Linden fans on it. Janney is on him right away and pokes it to the corner. Now it's Vancouver at center for Ridley. Ridley cross ice. Trevor Linden with a blast. It's wide, stick side. And San Jose at 2-on-2 with Miller and Shepard. Shepard waits. Nice pass to the breaking Ragnarsson. Rebound. McLean a save on Kevin Miller. And this should be icing on Vancouver. Boy, Ray Shepard made a great pass to Ragnarsson, but that man, Kirk McLean, temporarily saved the day for the Canucks. They lead it 2-0.
Kirk McLean finally saw some action and a couple of beauties. Ray Shepard, the left side of your screen, waited for Ragnarsson to come into the play, and the rookie defenseman, good shot, but watch the save on the rebound. Miller has a great chance going glove side, and Kirk McLean makes his best save of the game.
Russ Cardinal off the skate of Joseph Baranek. Baranek goes and gets it again, but can't because Friesen is in his face, clearing the way for Ray Whitney. Shot is blunted there by Brent Hedican. Whitney still controls back to Bodger. Deflected on its way in over the glass and into the crowd with 7:43 to go in the period. Bodger, the recent acquisition from the Buffalo Sabres by way of Philadelphia.
Meanwhile, McLean, with the first save was a good one, but it was more at his body. This one right here. In super slow-mo, you see Brown going down. First save. Now the second save, the movement, the classic stance, the positioning and patience of Kirk McLean, who has played real well the last couple of weeks, but not getting the breaks, and had his best performance against St. Louis the other night in that 3-2 victory.
Canucks in their own end. Russ Cardinal backhands it to center. Bodger's there. Ray Whitney regroups. Bodger dumps in behind the net. Lume around the boards, but not out. Onto the stick of Tom Peterson. Into Owen Nolan. Nolan tried to center. Lume broke that up. Now Whitney. Surprise shot deflected off the stick of Friesen. Lume on the backhand again, and the Canucks will skate it to center. Scott Walker dumps deep into the San Jose end. Nothing doing there. Owen Nolan back on it. Goes by Martin Gelinas and Roman Aksuda. Have Vancouver on top 2-0. Jyrki Lume. Bothered by Odgers. Almost a giveaway. A giveaway it is at the blue line. Odgers and O'Donnell, but Jyrki Lume breaks it off.
That's a good play by Lume, but Odgers, of course, not known as an offensive player. Probably the best move for Odgers is put that head down and let her rip. Hopefully his teammate will get a rebound. Alexander
McGillney trying to send Aksuda in alone. Doesn't work, and Dave Babich, the oldest man on this Vancouver team, goes back to play.
But don't call him Gramps.
No, he doesn't like that. I found that out this morning. Gramps, by the way, is 34. He'll be 35 before the year's out.
The young 34.
Still playing well. Here is Cliff Ronning behind the net.
Playing well, you kidding? This may be his best year in a couple anyway. He has been terrific on the point. Arguably their best defenseman from game 1 to now.
Cliff Ronning thought about bumping into Jason Moore and thought better of it. Ragnarsson almost sent Miller in alone. Miller got a step on Babich with the pass misconnections. And icing the call on San Jose. College hoop on the news Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. One of the great traditional rivalries. Notre Dame will take on Indiana. Hoosiers will be just back from the Great Alaskan Shootout. Bobby Knight's Hoosiers taking on Notre Dame Earlier today, Notre Dame beat Akron. Pat Garrity led the Irish with 18 points. Name like Pat Garrity ought to play for the Irish. You'll see it. Notre Dame, Indiana, Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern. There is Alexander the Great.
Of Mogilny's 18 goals, 16 of them have come at even strength. And that leads the NHL. 16 goals from Mogilny at even strength. That's huge. I mean, other guys can score on the power play. You've got a lot of guys that do it in that position, but 5-on-5 to be able to capitalize and score. And he has had highlight film goals after goal. And in particular, the one I'm remembering is the one that he scored against the Montreal Canadiens.
There's a look at Ray Whitney for the San Jose Sharks. Whitney, one of the guys who has not been performing up to past levels, only 1 goal on the season. 23-year-old out of Saskatchewan, second round for the Sharks back in '91.
Ray Whitney's a natural centerman, and now they're putting pressure on him to be a goal scorer again, but he's playing the wing. That's tough for a guy. He's out of position, and now they're asking him to go back to his assets before.
But the wrong province. He's from Alberta. I hope you forgive me. There's Owen Nolan. Nolan on the left wing tries to put a fancy move on Jeff Brown. Nolan in the corner. Whitney and Brown tie each other up. 5:22 to go in the first period. NHL action on ESPN2. The Sharks and Canucks. Tom Mees with Darren Pang. Hope you're enjoying it. Staying up late on the East Coast for good action. Jeff Friesen tries to center to Nolan. Nolan being worked over in the crease, taken down. Penalty going to come up against Vancouver. Owen Nolan doing some good work in the crease and helps draw the penalty against the Canucks.
Brett Hennigan's going to go off, and it's the Sharks' first power play of the game. And so this is fairly huge for them and their offensive unit. But the key here again for Vancouver, and they have to be frustrated with this, but for Rick Lee, what he has found inside his blue line is a lot of running around. Brown goes off to the one side, Ridley comes back, and you see the good cycling of the San Jose Sharks. Now first, Whitney falls down. Now Brown's got to chase Friesen right now. And the positioning in front, now you've got guys not looking around. They're just trying to eliminate players. Now Hennigan clearly took down Owen Nolan in front of the net, and the puck was nowhere near Nolan.
Well, the Sharks with a power play at home ranked 15th in the league, overall 17th, so somewhere in the middle or just below the middle of the pack in power play efficiency. But a huge turning point maybe for them in this game, down 2-0 in the first period at home. Janney. Got Ulf Dolan out there. Doug Bodger from the point. Deflected off the stick of Ray Shepard, who is going to be stationed in front of that goal, you know that. And the Canucks send it down on Terreri.
Well, he's the trigger man. You've got Craig Janney, the setup man, and the key for the San Jose Sharks, get Shepard in the open. In prime scoring, in a prime scoring area. And that's going to be Janney's job.
Rogers sent it around the boards, but Baranek takes control and clears it to center. Marcus Ragnarsson goes back for San Jose. Cross ice, the pass from Bodger to Shepard. Around the boards intended for Dolan. Dume tries to break that up. No shots on goal yet, halfway through the San Jose power play. Fans getting frustrated. This is what I meant a short time ago when I said it's easier on the power play on the road than it is at home. See with the extra man, they automatically get high expectations, and they're not patient. Owen Nolan, Jeff Friesen. Friesen backhands it to the center, but McLean broke that up. Now it's Kevin Miller at the point. Whitney. Nolan can't pull the trigger quick enough. Courtnall had his stick tied up. Friesen puts it right on the stick of Ridley, but not out. Kevin Miller with a shot, saved by McLean. Nolan behind the net again. 18 seconds left in the power play. Miller dives. No, he doesn't dive. He can't keep it in. And that should just about do it for the Shark man advantage. Maybe one more. Nope, not one more try. They'll go for a manpower change, and the penalty to Hennigan will expire. 3 minutes to go in the period. 2-0 Vancouver. Dean Malcock. Also high fly ball into the corner. Sikora goes back for it. Jamie Baker does the same into the corner to the right of McLean. Board work being done over there by Sean Donovan and Jeff Hodges-Donovan for San Jose. Sean Donovan met up face-to-face by Malkoff. Donovan again. Shot from the point. I believe that McLean got a piece of that. Sort of fluttered in there, Ryan.
Yeah, I thought it might have hit some traffic in front, but nonetheless, the Sharks are working hard now anyway. And after failing to capitalize on a power play opportunity, good play by Terreri just to cover it up, slow the place down because he's trailing. It's 2-love, Vancouver.
With a terrible start this year, changes were in order in San Jose. One of the first, Ray Shepherd, acquired from the Red Wings. Shepherd said there still has to be some improvement in this team in terms of grit. He says they need more grit on the San Jose club. They don't have enough of the guys who go into the corner and get their noses, smushed up against the glass and do some good board. He thinks that they ought to go after a guy like Dino Ciccarelli, who's doing a lot of sitting these days in Detroit.
He's backing up a teammate, an old teammate, I should say. Correction on that. Well, that would mean that I'll have hypotheticals, of course, but Dino Ciccarelli is a right winger, and they're pretty strong on the right side. Now they've got Nolan, now they've got Ray Shepherd. But no doubt about it, Dino Ciccarelli can help many a hockey club. Throw his age out the window. He just works hard every single night out there and gives it his best effort and still scores.
I can't believe he's not playing night in and night out for Detroit. Of course, the Red Wings are doing fine, whatever they're doing their way, but he could play on my team every single night.
Solid effort tonight by the Red Wings. At last,
right?
Yeah, Rangers, they were shutting them out 2-0. Well, we got scores here, Tom. Why don't you read them for me?
Well, all right, out-of-town scores. Let's roll them. Washington beats Hartford. The Whale goes down 4-2. Michael Pivonka, a big night. Pittsburgh over Buffalo 5-3. Barrasso, a decent night in net. Tampa Bay wins their fourth in a row.
Great. Darren Poopa wearing that number 1 still.
Yeah, but no name on the back. Detroit shut out the Rangers. Chris Osgood was just that. Boston, Ottawa. Look at that. Bailey again undefeated in net. Do you hear that, Curtis Joseph? Colorado, Montreal 2-2 final. Toronto, St. Louis 2-2 final. And Dallas, look at that, leading New Jersey 22-0.
Yeah, Moog with the shutout.
That's a final. Andy Moog.
Good job by Andy.
Well, the Devils and Rangers are both
shutouts.
Be in lovely moods Monday night, being shut out tonight.
I think the power play of the Rangers really failed them. At one point, they were 0 for 7.
That goaltender can shut you right down. A lot of games tonight around the NHL. The Dallas Stars are a team that now they got Mike Modano back in their lineup. They can cause some problems. Modano almost single-handedly beat Vancouver earlier in this road trip. And of course, our sports match coming up right at the end of this period. All the day's hockey scores, and of course a big day in college football. And let's hear it for the Northwestern Wildcats headed for the Rose Bowl. You got to love that. Mick Magoo blows the whistle, stopping play with 42.5 seconds left. And a face-off will ensue at center ice.
Dean Malkoff, one of the handful of young defensemen for Rick Lee and his Vancouver Canucks. Malkoff has played solid for them, 6'3", 200 pounds. Had a fight against Denny Chassé in that game against the St. Louis Blues. A pretty raucous fight, too, I should say. I think he switched hands midway through that fight. He's a tough guy. He's a gritty guy.
Dean Malkoff, 2 points on the year, 56 penalty minutes. That tells you all you need to know about Dean. He's a combative clamp on the ice. And Mogilny is tripped up at center, supposedly because no penalty was going to be called.
Maybe he's making a point about obstruction.
Maybe so. Reese Davis standing by with our sports smash. And speaking of smash, here's Mr. Malkoff trying to smash Jeff Hodges. Yep, right in front of the penalty timekeeper box.
There's that left I was talking about. Anyway, it wasn't my imagination. He threw with rights and lefts in that fight against Chassé. And he got Hodges with a good square left. That was one of the first of this little fight. But again, give credit to the Sharks. They're trying to stir things up. After trailing 2-0 early in this game, they had a couple of bouts to try to get things going, try to get the emotions in this game.
A couple of 5-minute fighting majors to be handed out, and to be handed out tomorrow night, more hits. That's right, NFL Sunday Night Football on ESPN. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern Time, the Panthers against the Saints, and there's Kevin Constantine. Chewing that gum.
Wonder what he's going to be chewing at the end of this period.
Well, I don't think he's going to go in and pound his fist. He said the confidence of this Shark team is so fragile now. You go in there screaming, yelling, pounding your fist, you may just lose them.
No, the only thing they've lost in this period so far was the first 3 minutes. That was it. Other than that, they played fairly even with the Vancouver Canucks and had some good chances.
But the arithmetic is merciless. After one period of play here at the Shark Tank, goals by Jelena and Romanov Suda have the Vancouver Canucks on top 2-zip. Sports Bash is straight ahead in a moment.
Now you can own Batman Forever on video. Feel the action. Live the adventure. Own it forever. Batman Forever on video.
Now that's impressive.
Set for the second period here at San Jose. Chris Terreri warming up in the Shark net. Let's take a look at the stats through the first 20 minutes of action. There they are.
Wasn't like there was a whole lot of shots on goal. Look at that. Only 6-4 the shots on goal in favor of Vancouver, but the score 2-0. Certainly took advantage of their limited opportunities. Scoring chances just 2-1. Faceoffs won, though. Vancouver centerman doing a great job against San Jose. And let's face it, San Jose's one key centerman is Jamie Baker when taking the faceoffs. He's their strong guy, but the power play too. The Vancouver Canucks had a 5-on-3, a power play in which San Jose did a great job of killing off in that opening 20 minutes of play.
Play underway, and Brett Hennigan picks it up for Vancouver behind the Canuck net. Puck at center off the stick of Trevor Linden. Greg Janney goes back for San Jose for Jason Moore. Marcus Ragnarsson. Linden takes it off the stick of Moore. Ragnarsson back on it, but not out. Now Ragnarsson finally over to Moore. Shepard cross ice pass to Kevin Miller. Greg Janney as Miller goes for the net, but Jeff Brown breaks that play up. Moore cruises over to try and whack it behind the Vancouver net. No can do, and the Canucks send it down to the San Jose zone. Terreri well out of his net, but clears it behind for Ragnarsson. Here's Shepard. Again lingering at center. Lost it to the corner where Miller and Babbage go for it. Jeff Friesen is on it in front. The shot. And a score or not? No. Mick McGough says no goal.
No goal.
The red light went on, but you watch the referee and he signaled immediately no goal.
You just have to look at number 11, Owen Nolan. That's the guy you look at. And there was no celebration when he shot the puck. Hands up for a slight second. Knew it went off the near post on the right side of McLean. And now they'll go up there and have a quick review. It's going to take about 6 seconds Canadian time.
Now wait a minute.
That just, you know, it just didn't go in the net. And if you wanted to know, you know, what it takes to have an instant replay, well, we can have that for you.
Now Larry Warner is the video goal judge. Nolan's waiting, and Mick McGough is on the phone upstairs. I think this is more of a courtesy to the San Jose Sharks than anything else, because McGough was very emphatic with his arms right away. Here's another look at the goal or not a goal.
Well, Friesen behind the net. Now watch on the right side of your screen, actually right up the gut, right at the center. Right-handed shot at Nolan. One-timer. Right up the far post, no question about that. Off the post, went into the pads of Kirk McLean, laid underneath him for a slight second. See Nolan? His hands never went up, and that's the key to the whole play. Goal scorers know if that puck goes in the net. Very rarely do natural goal scorers not know that.
Now the crowd is cheering, but I don't know why, because the goal, it's been ruled not a goal.
Well, try anyway, but no, it's clearly no goal.
Clearly no goal. Right call was made. Those goal judges, you know, you can't get on them too bad. The red light did go on, but you sit there in that goal judge chair behind that, and you want to turn on the light when that thing does cross the line, and you get all itchy in the trigger finger sometimes. But Mick McGough was in perfect position and waved his arms immediately. So it remains 2-0 Vancouver. Cliff Ronning at center. Ronning drags that puck from heel to toe. Got a shot away. Terreri stick to the side. McGillney behind the net. McGillney again. He's been pretty well contained by San Jose in this game. Friesen back at his own blue line. Tender age of 19, Jeff Friesen had an excellent rookie season a year ago. Here's Bodger. Friesen. Bodger pokes at it. Almost tipped it in out of midair in the slot area. Nice give and go. Whitney the shot.
Save by McLean. And some action behind the play. Fans felt that Babbage tripped up Owen Nolan, but no call. Friesen off the boards and out for the Sharks.
Good shift by the Sharks right there. Whitney, Friesen, and Nolan. A couple of good scoring chances, working hard. So obviously they've regrouped after that first period. Even though they trailed, they really limited, certainly the Vancouver Canucks, to any quality chances. Other than the first one was a beauty. Well, that second one was just a fortunate break for the Canucks.
Round into it as Vlastimil Krupa tries to send it on net, but it's intercepted by Hedican. Hedican over to Walker. Scott Walker with a drive. Prairie closing the pads. Alex Nazarov to center. Krupa steers it into the Vancouver zone for a change. Here comes Walker back for Vancouver. Or rather, Tim Hunter. Behind the net, Jason Moore picks it up. Craig Janney on right wing. Janney surrounded, but nobody there for the drop pass, but Vancouver's Jelena. Jelena pulls up. He's surrounded now, and Shepard will crowd for San Jose.
Bad time for a drop pass because all the San Jose Sharks were going forward. They were driving towards the net. Janney thought he'd drop it off. No one there.
Janney on right wing. Shepard to the net. Miller, the shot, score! Kevin Miller's 8th goal of the season has the Sharks back within one.
Now that's the time to make a pass going backwards. Great hands by Janney. Again, seen the play. But the key to this whole thing is Miller is a right-handed shot. Shepard leads the puck over to Janney. Onside play. Now quick move here. Right-handed Miller lets her rip. And McLean has no chance, just catching the far post, inside the far post, past the stick side. And the Sharks are in the hunt.
8th goal of the season for Miller, 19th assist for Janney. He leads the Shark team in scoring. Now 25 points in the season. But that was a rifle blast low by Kevin Miller. Now here comes Martin Jelena trying to split the defense, but Doug Bodger says no way. Shepard and Janney the assist on the goal by Miller. 3:27, time of the goal is Linden. In with Ridley on the backhand, goes just wide. Down is Terreri, but up quickly. Boy, Mike Ridley, a golden opportunity there. Ridley tries to center. Martin Jelena in front. Terreri sprawls and covers up. His shoulder may be hurting, but there's nothing wrong with the rest of his game. 2-1, Vancouver.
Welcome back to the San Jose Arena, where the Sharks are back in this game. Good outlet pass by Ragnarsson to Shepard. Now Janney drags the puck into his feet and just lays it on the table. Sets it up nicely, opens up the can of corn, and gives it to Miller, who finishes it off with a wonderful shot to the far side and inside the post and in. The thing about Miller, we know that he's been a 20-plus goal scorer the past 4 seasons. Pretty quiet goal scorer. He's got great abilities in the offensive zone, but he's also given more and more responsibility in his own end of the ice. Kills a lot of penalties as well for the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, Miller had 13 points in only 21 games with the San Jose Sharks last year. One of 6 members of his family to play hockey at a pretty high level. That Kelly and Kip still giving it a go in professional hockey.
I guess so. Kip's getting a good chance with the Chicago Blackhawks after spending time with the IHL championship team Denver Grizzlies last year.
Here is Joseph Baranek. Comes behind the net. And the San Jose end. Young Sikora back there for the Sharks. O'Donnell at center. Sean Donovan can't control it. But Donovan with a burst of speed gets in front of Babbage, but Jyrki Lumme is backing up the play. Dolan along the boards, can't control it. Vancouver will clear.
Every time you say Donovan, I wanted the sunshine film sophomore. Thought that was your era.
I hope Sean doesn't touch the puck much tonight. No offense. Spare me. Janney behind his own net. Backhand to Shepard. You better watch it. I'll start singing. Then you're really in for something. Jason Moore off the boards. Kevin Miller. But yes, you're right. That was my era. Miller. And Vancouver clears the center. Terreri says, touch her up, boys. Icing coming on Vancouver, and Moore does just that. Let's take a look at the Ice House League leaders. Who is the #1 goal scorer in the NHL? Well, there's two of them as we enter action tonight. Mario Lemieux, most on the power play. Alexander McGillney, as Darren pointed out, all but two even strength. Jaromir Jagr, no slouch. Brian Savage, Montreal, heck of a year. And then there's a guy named Lindros in Philadelphia who's not too bad either. That guy ain't bad either. That's Alexander McGillney. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he had 2 goals and 1 helper in their last game, the 3-2 victory against St. Louis. One of those goals coming on the power play. He is the only European to score 50 goals in 50 games. Well, and this year, 18 and 20. How's that?
Alexander the Great, once upon a time at 76 in a campaign with the Buffalo Sabres. Doug Bodger, speaking of Sabres, former Sabres for San Jose. Back to Friesen at the point. Friesen, why not? Deflection in front, that time by Nolan, went wide. Whitney behind the Vancouver net. Oh, and hops over the stick of Nolan, but Bodger in the slot and a claim to save, and falls down in the crease to keep it a 2-1 game.
Good chance by Doug Bodger coming in the middle. And the Vancouver Canucks were reeling inside their own zone, but the reason for that advantage San Jose is because their goaltender Chris Terreri had come out on a delayed penalty, and it's going to be Scott Walker that's going off for holding. Keep an eye, I thought it was on the right side of your screen myself. The shot by Friesen, yeah, there's Walker right there. Took out Nolan as he was going right in front of goaltender Kirk McLean. So Nolan, who's been a real pest in this second period, has come out, has been aggressive, had a good chance in the opening minute of the second period, and there's a good chance by Doug Bodger as well. The only problem was Bodger put that right in the crest. Easy to save that with your belly pad, but now San Jose on the power play.
You got Ragnarsson out there with Bodger, Ray Shepherd, O'Donnell, and Craig Channing. And Dolan does his job, wins the faceoff. Ragnarsson. Bodger's got a good shot from the point in the blue line, takes it, hits the stick of Zelenov. Craig Channing in the corner, back out to Bodger. Cross ice, Janney to Bodger. Janney down low. Chance for San Jose to tie it up. Little wee pass, score, Shepherd! Shepherd, his 8th goal as a San Jose Shark, and Craig Janney gets an assist on this as well.
How many guys have hands as sweet as this? My goodness, Janney right here, this is the littlest pass that you can come up with. Watch Shepherd, he had no reason to shoot this puck. You know, Shepherd just cradles it back in from the toe of his blade, brings it back to the heel, slides her through traffic, and finds about a 5-inch gap between the legs of McLean. Great play. I mean, just wonderful instincts. Wonderful instincts by Ray Shepherd. 10th goal of the year.
And an excellent little pass. I'm hanging around you too much. I called it a little wee pass from Janney.
It was. That had to have only been, 5 feet long?
Yeah. Here's O'Donnell with a shot. The Sharks cruising the net. So for Shepherd, his 10th goal of the season, his 8th as a San Jose Shark, and of course he's now scored points in 4 straight games. They brought him here to score goals, and we all know he can do that. Tie game, 7 minutes into the second period. San Jose has carried the play, no doubt, in this frame. Here's Shepherd again, sends one in towards the net, but hits traffic in front. Canucks clear it back to center. Janney tripped up by McGillney, but referee Magoo says Janney was on the way down, no penalty call. Krupa ties up Mogilny at center. Mogilny pulls down Sikora. Nothing called there.
Couple of kids back there, Krupa and Sikora.
Sharks are ruled offside. 2-2 game, and they're roaring at the Shark Tank.
Welcome back to the San Jose Arena, where, yes, the Sharks are back in it here. Craig Janney, the pass, but watch. Linden hits Shepherd. Now, he doesn't just cough the puck up. Well, what's he do? He drags it back into his feet and lets her go. You know what? Kirk McLean, if he's guilty of one thing, look at how deep inside of his net he was. Boy, he was almost on the goal line himself. Power play goal, Sharks tied at 2.
Captain Kirk may have been the most surprised man in the building, Darren, that Shepherd shot that puck.
You know, some guys, when they shoot the puck, you hear this big whack, you know, and the puck hits the stick, and with Shepard, you hardly hear anything. It just so smooth coming off the blade like that.
Ray Shepard has his critics, but everybody, even those who criticize his overall game, will tell you the man is a natural goal scorer, always has been, always will be. Now it's the Sharks at center. Jeff Friesen. Friesen pulls up on right wing. Tried to get a pass to Nolan through traffic, didn't go. And here's Russ Courtnall at center. Russ Courtnall almost put his team offside, turns it over at center to Owen Nolan. Got Friesen and Whitney as trailers. Whitney trying to slide it through the pads of the legs of Courtnall, didn't work. Little fancy there for Whitney. Here's Joseph Baranek. He takes a tough one on Terraria on the stick side, and the diminutive Rhode Islander makes the save to the corner. Marcus Ragnarsson. Jeff Friesen backhands at the center. Terreri behind the net. Jason Moore off the boards. Janney at center to a breaking Kevin Miller. Nice pass off the boards to Miller. He's wrapped it from behind, and this will draw a penalty. Dave Babbage did the only thing he could do. Great speed by Miller.
I think Miller's looking for a penalty shot. He did take one look at Magoo, but it's going to be a holding call. Janney right here. You know, when you want the puck, put that stick up in the air and get it down in a hurry. Nice little bank pass right on the tape. Miller with speed. Oh yeah, he had a minor step on the veteran Babbage, and Babbage did the only thing that he could do. Grab a hold of the left side of the arm of Miller. How about Craig Janney? Most assists since 1991. Oates with 309. Gretzky, of course, right there. Gilmore. Craig Janney, updated 258 helpers since 1991. What a marvelous disher of the puck he is. Very unselfish.
Of course, had his best season overall as a member of the Boston Bruins a few seasons ago. Had over 100 points, and over 80 of those were assists, so he can dish it. There's no doubt about that. Vancouver dishes it out to center. Marcus Ragnarsson dumps behind the Canuck net. Ulf Dahlin on some nice board work, and now gets a quick shot away. On rebound, he scores! Dahlin! The San Jose power play has them in the lead. Dahlin, with some real stick-to-itiveness, got a second rebound and made no mistake.
Good work along the wall for the Sharks. Dahlin shoots it first. Now, let's just go back to the meat and potatoes of a power play. Shoot it and drive for the rebound. How about 3 chances on that one for Ulf Dahlin? Never gave up on the play, and that's the key. And the first shot was low, so he got a rebound back. Second shot again, stopped by McLean. And the third one, Dahlin. He's coming off his best games. He might have played his best game of the year. Scored a power play goal against the Blackhawks in that 3-2 victory. Now he's got another power play goal in this one.
And what a boost it must be for San Jose, a team that's won 2 games all year, down 2-0 early in the first period at home. They had to be doubting themselves. A team that's had trouble scoring goals all season, and here they get 1, 2, 3 in a row to get back into the lead here in the second.
Can't help but go back to the penalty killing when Vancouver had that 5-on-3, and you could just sense it right here at the arena. The crowd got back into it. The guys were working harder, and the Vancouver Canucks, if they're guilty of one thing, they might have let up a little bit in that second period with a very cushy 2-0 lead. And that has been their Achilles heel all year long. Leads and giving up leads.
Ronning, pass to Aksuda. That was net with the glove hand. Is Terreri to make the save there. At center, Ray Whitney. Hit at the blue line by Ronning, but presses ahead.
Good outlet pass by McLean. Now Vancouver's 3-on-2.
Mogilny, quick shot, save Terreri as Aksuda was bearing down on it. Cliff Ronning not too bad at dishing the puck either. Set up the big rush in Aksuda.
This is the goal that has made it a 3-2 hockey game. Dahlin's first shot stopped. Now he continues to drive to the net. Then he beats Linden to that loose puck. Oh, Linden had a chance at it, but Dahlin never gave up. Then Mogilny, other side of the ice again, left-hand shot. Now he goes to the middle, creates a good scoring chance. Nice pass right to Aksuda. And quietly, Chris Terreri has crept back into this hockey game. That takes a lot of experience and confidence for a guy like Terreri to give up a couple of quick goals and then rebound back and make some big saves for his hockey club.
Canucks win the face-off. Fanning on the shot at the point was Jason Cullimore. Puck goes behind the net. Babbitt tries to keep it in. Can't do it. Canucks have to regroup at center. Jason Moore off the glass. Up to Janney, who's had a marvelous game so far tonight. Kevin Miller, this line's really been clicking. Miller. Pass for Janney, intercepted by Baranek. Miller, Janney, and Shepard really been doing the job for San Jose tonight.
They are a creative line. If they're guilty of one thing, it's often they don't keep the puck in deep. They're trying to make a play in the high slot at the top of the rings all the time. And what happens is you get 3 men in deep and get caught and the play goes the other way.
Shepard dumps into the corner. See some smoke in that corner. Every time San Jose scores, they send off some sort of foghorn here, and real fog comes out.
That's the time of the foghorn is.
Which is why I'm having a fog here. Jamie Baker at center. Thought I'd say that before they did down the truck. Ridley. Jelena dumps back into the San Jose end. Terreri leaves it. Lasty Krupa almost gives it away to Linden. Krupa in the corner. Sikora dumps it to center. Dean Malcott. Off the stick of Jelena, on the stick of O'Donnell. Malcott in the corner. They slowed down just a tad since that go-ahead San Jose goal. Trevor Linden's pass intercepted by Peterson as Vancouver's on a change. Let's see if San Jose can control it. Owen Nolan lets her go, but it was offside. 7:27 to go in the second period. The Sharks have come back into tank to take a 3-2 lead. Eastern time, and Wednesday they'll do it all again. Hockey tonight at ESPN2 from the Shark Tank. An entertaining game. 2-0 Vancouver early. San Jose has climbed back into the lead here in the second period, 3-2. Ray Whitney on the left wing took a pass from Owen Nolan. Tried to feather one on the stick of Friesen. Hennigan had him tied up. Jeff Brown tries to clear for Vancouver. Can't do it. Now does so. O'Gilney trying to get around Bodger. This will draw the penalty on Doug Bodger, and that was a good penalty for San Jose. Otherwise, McGillney would have cruised on in front of Terreri.
Well, Burry has such great acceleration, and when he's crossing over, he's gaining speed. And so through the neutral zone, he loves to cut to the middle, so the stick of Bodger's in the middle. Now, that stick's hardly doing anything, but Mogilny's so good at that now, and the stick was actually in the hands of Mogilny. Falls down, so now we're going to have a power play for Vancouver. But now Vancouver, of course, are without the Russian rocket. Pavel Bure underwent successful anterior cruciate reconstructive surgery on his right knee. Here's with Bure, they're even 500. Look at their goals per game, almost 4. Now without Bure, a natural, because you're taking 60 to 65 goals out of the lineup, but they're also 4 games under 500 and aren't even scoring 3 goals per game without the Russian rocket. So there are some guys for Vancouver that certainly have to pick up the slack.
Well, Mogilny certainly has, but he needs some help. 3 of those 5 losses on this 6-game road trip. Here's a shot and a save. Terreri, he didn't even know he had it. He didn't even know where that puck was. Oh. Vancouver thought they had a goal. Terreri didn't know where it was. He made the save.
And Linden's in the fog. Hey, great execution by Vancouver. Perfect pass. Ridley, a beautiful pass across the ice. Watch their blocker. Oh, was it blocker post? You know, from that angle, it's hard to tell. But the extension of Terreri, oh, I thought that hit his waffle. I thought that might hit his blocker, but see, Magoo's right there as well. He had himself in fine position, so that leads me to believe that that might have even maybe trickled off the post as well. But nonetheless, Terreri, pretty flexible fella, isn't he? That hurt just watching him.
Ouch. Lume, cross ice to Babbitt. Behind the net, Ridley. Trevor Linden in the corner. Jyrki Lume just sends it into the corner for Mogilny. Ridley, still lots of time left in this Vancouver power play. Ridley to the left of Terreri. Back out to the point to Babbage. Cruises in. Shot deflected behind the net. Babbage again. Under 6 minutes to go in the period. 1:15 left in this Vancouver power play. And Jamie Baker kills it off at center. He'll take a foray into the Vancouver end. And just lazily dump it to the corner.
Again, timely penalty killing by San Jose, doing a good job of keeping Mogilny on the perimeter, and in fact, pass from Ridley to Mogilny, not even close.
Cliff Ronning. Checked off of his stick. Onto the stick of Alex Stoyanov, but nothing going there. Russ Courtnall. Courtnall, top of the circle, taken away by Vlastimil Krupka. And they'll ice it. 35 seconds left in the penalty to Bodger.
One of the guys I look to for Vancouver to get some shots on net would be Russ Courtnall, and he has struggled offensively. Today he was working on those high hard ones under the crossbar to see if it's going to work.
Aksuda behind the net. Hennigan. 18 seconds left on the Vancouver power play. Hennigan takes his time, takes a shot. Terreri left hand save. Aksuda towers over Vlastimil Krupka in the corner. Roman Aksuda. Ronning with a nifty pass. The shot is wide by Jeff Brown, and that'll do it for the Vancouver power play. Brown mad at himself, missing the net.
Yeah, he was flexing his stick after that. Just a slight pull to the short side, but Terreri made a very good save through traffic in the latter stages of the power play for Vancouver. Fighting through a screen, made a good kick save.
Greg Janney out and back into the zone, icing the car. They're offside to call on San Jose. 4:12 left in the period. Sharks lead at 3-2.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today.
This is dull.
Doesn't have to be.
And now the starting lineup. That groom from Texas, Billy Clyde Humphrey. And at Bride, a 5'6" debutante from Alabama, Nell Peterson. The Humphrey wedding brought to you by Miller Lite. When you got the great taste of an ice cold Miller Lite, life is good. The vows are up.
I do. I do.
And they're good. Whoa, Nelly.
That was beautiful, man.
An expansion team, they win, will be 6-6 on the year. These real stories in pro football this season. Play back onto the ice in San Jose. Sean Donovan. Baranek takes him down. That'll be a penalty. Sean Donovan driving for the corner, and Joseph Baranek doesn't like it, but he'll sit for 2.
Well, this would be a prime opportunity for the Vancouver Canucks and Coach Rick Lee to utilize their latest acquisition, and that, of course, being Esa Tikkanen, acquired from the New Jersey Devils for a second-round draft pick. Now, Tikkanen, as you know by now, is not in uniform for the Vancouver Canucks. He has gone back to Edmonton, where his wife and he own a flower shop. He's gone back there to spend a little time with the family, and so Rick Lee will have Tikkanen back early next week. Monday, Tuesday, he will be back in the Vancouver area. But Tikkanen, a good acquisition. There's the grit that we're talking about, the character that is very much necessary for the Canucks.
Ragnarsson off the face-off to the corner. Some of the Canuck players are openly wondering why Tikkanen wasn't here tonight. You just gave me the answer. I'm not sure they're going to like it. Janney in the corner.
Maybe they're trying to package him.
You're on tonight. Janney trying to hit Ragnarsson right to the right of the goaltender. McLean would have been a slam dunk of a goal. Janney is really hot tonight with his passing. Doug Bodger winds up and hits traffic in front in the slot. Ragnarsson sends it through the crease with still $1:23 to go in his San Jose power play. Ragnarsson dumps into the corner. Jeff Friesen will chase. Bodger pinches in. Now it's Alt-Dahlin. Behind the net. Unchecked. Looks for somebody in the slot. Now Ragnarsson breaks to the net.
Oh, my!
He had half the net to shoot at Darren, and he shot it high. Ragnarsson back to Bodger. Oh, and a great setup, too, from Dahlin. Ragnarsson through the crease. And finally, Russ Courtnall will carry to center. Sends a long one in on Terreri.
No, that was a dropper.
Yeah.
Oh, that dropped a couple of feet. That's a tricky one.
Little flutter ball in there. Terreri held with it. never go wrong putting that long shot on goal. You never know what's going to happen.
Ragnarsson had a great chance jumping in. You're seeing some of the skills of Ragnarsson, the fine rookie from Sweden. And he just really, that puck was on end, and that's why it went so high and wide.
Owen Nolan in the corner. Still 12 seconds left of the man advantage for the Sharks. Peterson takes a whack, goes wide. Friesen in the corner. Veronic will be out in just a couple of seconds. Whitney back to Owen Nolan. Centering in front and covering up as time expires on the penalty is the goaltender Kirk McLean. With 1:53 left in the period, a 3-2 San Jose lead.
Well, the 24-year-old fifth-round draft pick in 1992, Marcus Ragnarsson, who has to be a Calder candidate anyway. I mean, he's a defenseman that's not receiving a whole lot of notoriety, but he is amongst the leading scorers for defensemen and rookies. Right through the slot. See that? Oh, he just, I mean, obviously that puck had to have done something goofy. He just pulled that sucker, trying to go to the glove side, and Ragnarsson a left-hand shot. Well, it was a good dump in. It was a tough break, too, because as you said, Tommy, a great setup, too, by Dahlin, and Ragnarsson was all alone.
Ragnarsson, a member of the 1995 silver medal team for Sweden in the World Championships. Flying his trade now in the NHL. There's a broken stick out there, and that's Trevor Linden without a stick for Vancouver. Teams are back to 5 aside, but Linden has no stick. McLean can't get it around Jeff Odgers. Jamie Baker plays still onside in the Vancouver end. Minute and a half to go in the period. Canucks still can't clear it. Now Brett Hennigan should be able to. He'll skate it to center. Hennigan breaks into the San Jose end. Can't get it to Jelena. Linden with a new stick. Puts it on the stick of Craig Janney. Janney's got to avoid people coming over the boards on a line change, and here's Russ Cordnell. Cordnell with a shot. Oh, it's tipped wide by Bodger, and a weird bounce. And Terreri just got the glove there in time. Coming up in our second intermission, of course, Reese Davis standing by. Another Sports Smash. The new Dodge Intermission Report. The Ohio State-Michigan picture. Of course, Northwestern is going to the Rose Bowl. Phoenix Suns, an incredible comeback in the NBA, and all the NHL scores and highlights. That's in our second intermission.
How about Gary Barnett and Northwestern? You gotta love that stuff, huh? Yeah. Well, Cordner's gonna let this one rip. It goes off the stick of Bodger, the blade, but watch how tricky this one is. You know, those are the types of plays that can hit the pads after carrying off the boards. I mean, it goes off those spongy pads, and he got his mitt down first. That's a good, you know, it's a good play. It looks like a simple play, and it looked like a big goof up if it went in the net, but it's a tough play.
Canucks win the faceoff, but on it is San Jose's Kevin Miller, who's played very, very well tonight. Under a minute to play here in the second period. This crowd will let the home team hear it. Here's Ray Shepard on a turnover. The backhand of McLean holds his ground. That dribble off of Shepard's stick at the last moment. Another giveaway in the Vancouver end.
Another giveaway by Vancouver. Giveaways have just cost them this entire year. But Babbage did a nice job of coming back on the play. I think he might have hooked up the hands of Shepard before he tried to go through the legs.
Kevin Miller gets ahead of Babbage. Miller bumped from behind. This will draw a penalty. Dave Babbage will sit. And he's mad at himself for allowing Miller to get ahead of him again.
Twice on one shift for the veteran Babbage. And this time his legs aren't moving at all. He's a little beat. He's at the end of his shift, and he has to do everything possible to eliminate any kind of shot from Miller. Only 8.8 seconds left in this second period, and that was a tough shift for Dave Babbage, who is nearing 1,000 games played in the NHL, his 16th NHL season. Ray Shepard, in the meantime, he had the first chance after the giveaway. Right here, reading the play. Gets his hands on it. There's Babbage trying to get him from behind. There's that one little hook. Yeah, and that helped. That hook was a good one by Babbage, because Shepard, at first glance, thought he might go high over the glove. Then he tried to bring it back to his backhand and go through the legs.
Well, only 8.8 seconds, as you said there, and left to go in this period. So this will split up the power play, and Vancouver will get a chance to rest in all probability. Unless San Jose pulls off something quick right at the end of the period. Dahlin in there to take the face-off with Mike Ridley. Ridley wins it, so the Canucks should be able to weather the last 8 seconds. And they do. As the horn sounds, the home folks standing and applauding the San Jose Sharks. The new Dodge Intermission Report with your host, Reese Davis. Coming up, Sports Smash, all the hockey scores and highlights, college football, NBA as well. That's coming your way in a few moments. Ray Shepard of the San Jose Sharks will have 1:51 left of power play time to start this third period. Shepard and the Sharks have only won 1 game at home this year. That was against the St. Louis Blues. They're 20 minutes away from chalking up their 3rd win of the year and 2nd at home. Darren?
Still the shots on goal, few and far between, but they're finding the end of the net, and 15-13 in favor of Vancouver. Scoring chance, though, San Jose's really done a nice job, 10-4 in that department. The faceoffs won fairly even. Vancouver has the slight edge. San Jose really picked it up in that 2nd period, and the power play for San Jose, 2 for 4. And Chris Terreri, hey, he was sharp in that 2nd period. There was a handful of quality saves that kept the life alive for the San Jose Sharks.
Terreri playing his first game here at the Shark Tank since being acquired from the New Jersey Devils. Talk about Vancouver. You know, let's be fair to them. We mentioned this in our open. This is the last game of a 6-game, 8,000-mile road trip. Think about that.
Well, they got in yesterday at noon, and they were all in the fog. Tommy, they were walking around finding out, let's go to bed, let's stay up, what are we going to do? So you're right, that does have its effect. There is no question about that. But, you know, I always think, you know, now you're in the hockey game. You know, now you got to go to her. And sometimes you can be smart. And you don't have to be fully energetic, but if you play intelligently, you can still come out of there with a victory. But right now, their hands are full, trailing 3-2.
And the Canucks, to make matters worse, on this 8,000-mile trip have had to fly commercial. No charters. Connections all over the place. Here's Dahlin, top of the circle for San Jose. Remember, the Sharks still on the power play for the next minute. Marcus Ragnarsson, Dahlin. Janney behind the net, centers in front, but lands on the stick of Trevor Linden. Linden killing penalties for Vancouver. Kevin Miller can't control his own end, and Terreri will leave it for Miller. Miller, former St. Louis Blue. Over to Ray Whitney. In the corner, Malcott. Just half the league. You could say they're former St. Louis Blues. The way they've been dealt. Here's a score for Owen Nolan. Owen Nolan. 1 goal in his last 10 games. You know that makes him feel great. San Jose.
8th goal of the season for Owen Nolan. The play is made by Whitney, though. Perfect, right on the tape, and Nolan is behind Dean Malcock, the defenseman for Vancouver. And he slides it off the far post. A perfect shot on the backhand by Owen Nolan, who I thought had a real strong 2nd period. Got things started for San Jose while they were at even strength, created some scoring chances, drew a penalty. And now he is given his Shark a 4-2 lead.
Owen Nolan told me very candidly this morning that he lost a lot of confidence, especially on the power play. He's used to, in his days with the Avalanche and the Nordiques, to be playing on the first power play unit. Had been demoted to the 2nd power play unit here. Wasn't working. Had only 1 goal in his last 10. And he appeared to be a guy there that started feeling the pressure. Well, maybe that goal will get him going here in San Jose.
Don't forget with Owen Nolan, too, he's adjusting to a different style of play. A little more run and gun, of course, in Colorado. San Jose's trying to become a little more patient. They don't have nearly the depth nor the transition game that the Avalanche have. But when you have hands, no matter where you're playing. And that is exactly what Owen Nolan is showing us on that little backhand pass. You see, every shot doesn't have to be under the crossbar and in. That was just along the ice. It wasn't hard, but it was perfectly placed by Nolan. But I can't tell you how big the play was by Ray Whitney, his line mate, who's also had a strong game.
So it's a 2-goal San Jose lead. They've scored 4 consecutive after dropping behind 2-0 early in this game. Remember, the Canucks with a lot of scoring power out there. The line of McGillney and Ronnie Naksuda. Out there now, and Ronning back checking. Lugs it up to center for Vancouver. Ronning over to McGillney in the slot. And the shot hits the defenseman Bodger, who is perfectly positioned. Jeff Brown dribbles one in on Terreri. Has that stick along the ice to make the save. Taking a look at our head and shoulders storyline. Ray Shepherd, a goal and 1 helper for San Jose. Craig Janney's been brilliant dishing the puck. Martin Jelinek got the evening started quickly, but since then it's been all San Jose. 3 goals in a 6-minute span of that second period.
And the Sharks once trailed. You believe they trailed 2-0 in this hockey game, and once again the Canucks have relinquished the lead. But Owen Nolan's 8th goal of the season on the power play. All 8 goals have come on the power play.
This faceoff will come in the San Jose.
All 8 goals. I was stunned by that graphic. All 8 goals have come on the power play.
Yeah. Anakin. Our graphics people often stun us.
We got Zeroli eyes right there.
Jimmy Z in the truck coming up with those numbers. Jason Moore. As the Sharks try and clear, they can't do it. Linden with a shot and dragging it right pad out there is Terreri. Chris Terreri. He's hot tonight. He's making saves when he doesn't even see the puck.
That was a good save by Terreri, but his defenseman on that last shift, veteran Jason Moore, who last year was so terrific in that series against the Calgary Flames, behind the net now. Does he blow a wheel? Yeah, he sort of went, he went over awkwardly. His right leg or right ankle just sort of slid underneath him. And from that point on, he really struggled to get back into position. So hopefully Jason Moore is going to be okay, but he's still struggling going back to the bench. And now looks like Ragnarsson's going to come on the ice. Yeah, he's saying I turned that over, it looks like.
Trainer Tommy Woodcock coming over to him, wants to know how things are. And Moore will have a seat on the bench. Sharks ice the puck here. Hennigan touches up for faceoff back in the San Jose end. Just under 3 minutes into the third period. 4-2 Sharks.
Trevor Linden, the captain of the Vancouver Canucks, is playing his 399th straight hockey game. And he is one of the leaders in that department. In fact, here is the leaderboard. 399, 345 for Damphus, Kelly Miller 315, and Pat Verbeek 259 straight games. Quite an accomplishment. Far cry from Doug Jarvis's mark or Gary Younger's or Steve Larmer's, but it's durability for Trevor Linden, who just signed a new deal just before the season started.
I was going to say, all he's got to do is play another 3 or 4 seasons in a row, and he'll be up where the air is really red. You're right. In this day and age, the bigger the players, the hard hitting. Statement of good conditioning, maybe a little bit of luck too. Ragnarsson touches up, and icing to call on the Vancouver Canucks. 4-2 Sharks early in the third period.
Welcome back to the San Jose Arena. Alongside Tom Mees, I'm Darren Pang. Rick Lee's the head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, and the pressure is on for him. He had a spat earlier this year with Jeff Brown. Rick Lee sat him for 2 straight games. Brown questioned openly whether or not he would have sat Pavel Bure or an Alexander Mogilny. Felt that he would not, that he didn't have the guts to do something like that, but he would sit with Jeff Brown. And so that has been an ongoing thing, although it's, well, it's closed up somewhat, but there's a lot of pressure on Rick Lee, and there's a lot of talk about Jeff Brown being moved out of his Vancouver Canuck organization.
Interesting fodder for thought. Ray Whitney for San Jose. Into the slot, Nolan gunning for a second. Jyrki Luma got the stick out in time to deflect it over the glass into the crowd. Well, Rick Lee, hey, he's got a new building. They got to fill it. They have to have an entertaining, winning hockey team there.
And obviously they made a deal in the offseason. Pat Quinn acquiring Alexander Mogilny. But other than that, it has been relatively quiet. And last year in the shortened season, I don't think it's very fair to judge a coach on a shortened season. But this is a new season, and the fact of the matter is, Rick Lee, Pat Quinn, very good friends, both on and off the ice. Families, very good friends. It'll be a tough situation for Pat Quinn if indeed they were going to make a coaching change. But right now, the Canucks are not responding, and he really criticized their hockey club in a loss against the Dallas Stars. He basically called them a gutless team and said they were on their own agenda. And so that was a game in which they led 3-1 and lost it 4-3.
Well, the Canucks will have a few days off after this epic road trip. Their next game will be against the Blackhawks.
Well, they can be the home team. The Hawks are on a nasty road trip now, so maybe they can go home and regroup.
That'll be next Wednesday. They'll go home for 4 in a row. Savage touches up, icing the call on San Jose. Well, more hockey on the news Monday night. Madison Square Garden, New York. Rangers Devils say no more than that. maybe the best active rivalry now in the National Hockey League. You'll see it Monday night, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Then next Wednesday night, the two best teams in the Atlantic Division. At least the standings say so. Philadelphia Flyers and the Florida Panthers. That's Wednesday night at 7:30. Rangers Devils Monday at 7:30. Flyers Panthers Wednesday 7:30. Face off in the San Jose end. The Canucks, a tired hockey team. 6-game road trip, 8,000 miles, and now down by 2 in the third period. Trying to crawl back. Terreri taking no chances for San Jose. Faced 17 shots tonight, stopped 15 of them.
This is one of the assets of a guy like Chris Terreri. You know, when he first broke into the NHL, of course, he had a brilliant collegiate career, but coming into the NHL, it's a different story. He was a little cocky when he first started. But I tell you what, just a couple of years ago, he was named the Players Player Award of the New Jersey Devils, and he was literally a backup to Martin Brodeur. He's come a long way in terms of how he handles different situations, and he thinks of the team in a big, big way. He's going to be a good influence.
Jeff Brown cruises in, and Terreri out of his net to cut down the angle. Brown trying to go low through the wickets, didn't work.
Brown had a lot of room to move in there from his point position. That's his best scoring chance of this hockey game for the offensive-minded Jeff Brown. Fake the shot first. That's the key to that play, because Baker's going to sprawl down the ice. You see the battle that's going on in front of the net, but you see Bodger does a great job of moving that one Canuck player over to the left. So you see the pathway. It's perfect for Chris Terreri. Saw it the whole way, and Brown just kind of fired that, trying to go either through the arm or maybe on the far side, but good play by Terreri.
Brown with only 1 goal this season to go along with his 12 assists, so you know he's chomping at the bit.
Yeah, you bet, because he had a couple of 20-plus goal seasons. And he's an offensive-minded guy that runs the power play. But you can clearly see he's in a funk here, and he's not getting nearly the quality power play time that he had in the past with the Canucks.
Face off to the left of Terreri in the San Jose zone. O'Donnell wins it for San Jose. Jamie Baker up to the breaking Jeff Odgers at center. O'Donnell off of his stick. Martin Zelenov back the other way. Trevor Linden hits the leg of Jason Moore. Zelenov quickly to Ridley. Ridley tried a centering pass to Brown, who was short-circuited, and the Sharks clear it. Rick McLean out there to beat Dolan to the loose puck. Still loose at center. Miller over to Ray Shepherd. Shepherd beats the defense and scores! Shepherd!
Wow, there's somebody.
Well, is that? Maybe the Canucks think that play was offside, Darren.
No. After the play, Shepherd got smoked by, I think, Dean Malcock, feisty defenseman for Vancouver. Kevin Miller came in just throwing haymakers at him. I thought it was 8 Miller. And see, when Shepherd was down on the ice, Miller saw him get hit after the play. Shepherd had his arms up, and Miller came flying in there defending his teammate that just scored a huge goal in this game to make it a 5-2 contest.
Now, Mick McGough, the red light never went on. I saw that puck clearly, I thought, go over the goal line.
Oh, yeah, that went near post, inside, off the post, past. Certainly, that went in the net. There's no question about that.
Now, the goal judge a little asleep with the switch behind Kirk McLean. And then I saw all heck break loose. How about the boards?
Not used to turning it on that much.
You got a point.
Ray Shepherd through the neutral zone. Who says this guy can't skate? Look at that little burst of speed. And then he puts it off in the short side. He knows it's in. He takes the hit, but he's all right. He's got the hands up, and that's when his teammates came in and started rifling away. Yeah, there's Miller there. Yeah, he did have a holy jumping.
Well, they just put the 5th goal up on the board, but we knew it was in, and you know Shepherd knew.
Oh, look at that, sweet. That's sweet. A lot of guys would panic. The puck was ahead of him a little bit, and that's the hit that he takes from Malcock. Play's done. It's over. He scores to make it a 5-2 game, his 2nd goal of the game. Shepherd is very deceptive with that stride. Often guys in Detroit said it's that Nordic track stride that he has. Just goes up and down. He'll get to point A to point B, and you saw that right there.
Well, Shepard, his second goal of the night, 11 on the season. Now, Jeff Rogers is discussing things with Mick McGough. You have Malcock in the box for Vancouver. Jason Moore's been sent there for San Jose, and Rogers is debating the issue with referee McGough. And we have coincidental minors to Malcock and to Jason Moore. I guess Rogers may be saying, look, Malcock started it. Why doesn't he get an extra 2?
Well, Malcock would get the roughing penalty to start it off after the play, but even that, there wasn't a whole lot to that play. A lot of time defenseman's coming back. He's looking at the player. He doesn't know if the puck's in the net or not. He's supposed to eliminate the man, so he does so. But clearly, I thought it was Kevin Miller that came in and maybe should have got something there.
Malcock gets 2 for roughing. And 2 minutes for charging to Jason Moore. Both at 5 minutes and 17 seconds here in the third period. But the big stat is the second goal of the night for Ray Shepard at a 3-goal San Jose lead.
And he took the pass in the neutral zone. Right on the tape, crossing the blue line, splitting the D, both Malcock and Lume, and then beat McLean on the short side. It was off the post and in the net. Now he's going to watch his teammates come on in here and help him out. Now he's going to throw some, and Miller's getting a couple shots. Jim Sandlak ended up coming in late. Lume, and then everybody's going to jump in there. Meanwhile, the San Jose Sharks, Tom, have they made some moves? These are the deals this season. Terreri for a draft pick. Bodger, well, that's a complicated deal that involves Pat Falloon, of course, going over to the Philadelphia Flyers. Owen Nolan for Ozolinsh. Shepard for Larionov, who scored today, in a draft pick. That's that Pat Falloon stuff right there. And there's also some prospects that have been sent back and forth, and the Buffalo Sabres eventually are the guys that get most of the draft picks, the first and a fourth round pick. But you're seeing right now that the San Jose Sharks have been patient. But, you know, it was last year, it was the year before that, you know, they're almost patching up some mistakes that are made along the way. They lost leadership already last year when, you know, Bob Airy, that whole thing goes over, and Makarov and Larionov and Garpenlov gets handed out for draft picks. And there's another guy missing, too. I think Steve Duchesne, Gaetan Duchesne.
Gaetan Duchesne, yeah. He and Garpenlov both ended up in Florida.
So they had something good going here. They had blended youth and veteran hockey players. And then they sort of threw it all out the window.
Well, the panic was in with the goaltending. It just wasn't top rate. It wasn't NHL caliber goaltending early in the season. And the offensive people weren't living up to their end of the...
A lot of things go into this kind of play. I had the same scenario happen to me in Chicago, and we were all struggling. And then Al Chevrier came in, and everybody started picking up the play. And then, you know, your goaltender is going to be your recipient of all that. And no question, Terreri is and should be, because he gives him a great deal of confidence. But at the same time, Bodger's been added to the mix. So a little more enthusiasm there on the blue line. But yeah, you're right about that. They were only stopping 85% of the shots coming their way. You're going to lose a ton of hockey. That's the worst in the NHL. So the goaltenders, it's not like they're not good goaltenders, but they've just got to get back their confidence. And Irbe actually turned down demotion of the minors.
And he turned down a lot of money the year before, and that may be the root of his problem. Well, the RPM tonight. Best show on auto racing on TV. Your host, our main man, Kenny Mayne, tomorrow at 8 Eastern Time. Post-race coverage, highlights, and interviews from the big races of the week. RPM tonight, a weekly program dedicated to motorsports competition. Autos, motorcycles, hydroplanes. If it's fast, it's covered on RPM tonight. Tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific Time.
Kevin Constantine, you were talking about that 3-year deal. There was a couple of guys around the NHL were saying, how do you like this? Jacques Demers leads the Montreal Canadiens to a Stanley Cup a couple of years ago. Starts off slow, gets fired. Kevin Constantine starts off slow and gets a 3-year extension.
Well, that extension came October 10th. I didn't think management thought they were going to start off this slow. Kevin said today, he said, look, I've been here 3 years. I've had 3 different teams. Each year a different philosophy or makeup. Bodger takes a shot wide. Kevin Miller, backhand rebounded on McLean. And he'll hold for the faceoff with 13-14 to go in the period.
Kevin Miller has had another solid hockey game for the San Jose Sharks. He's the kind of guy that you can utilize him on the power play, but he has done an awful lot of work along with Jamie Baker. It's been a nice tandem penalty killing for Kevin Constantine. And they certainly get an awful lot of ice time in those situations.
Well, the Sharks, if they're going to make a move up the ladder in the Pacific Division in the Western Conference, they've got to start over the next couple of weeks. 7 of 9 at home, counting tonight. They'll next be in action Wednesday when the hapless Calgary Flames come to the Shark Tank. Jamie Baker, Portnoy on his back. Baker in the corner does a good job. Bodger trying to keep it in. Veronica, though, clears to center. 13 minutes to go in the third period. 5-2 San Jose. Peterson overskates deep in the Shark zone. Here is Hennigan sending one in on Terreri. Caroms to the corner. Brett Hennigan fans on it at the point. Is still able to control, however. Only to put it on the stick of Peterson, who gives it back to Hennigan. Hennigan one-timing it wide stick side. Brown sends behind the net. On the stick, though, Jamie Baker puts it all the way on McLean. No icing. Because of that, quickly, though, the Canucks in transition. Russ Portnoy with a drive. Right on the chest to Terreri. And Janney is there for the rebound. Brett Hennigan. Terreri down and makes another save with a pad and did not appear to know where that puck was. It's a save, and San Jose leads by 3. Kevin Miller, San Jose Sharks lead at 5-2, and Miller's line has been dominant tonight.
I got a good note on Kevin Miller, though.
Yeah.
He's got the only 2 game-winning goals. They've only won 2 games, and he's got the 2 game-winning goals. Guess what? He's got the 3rd goal of this hockey game. Could have the 3rd game-winning goal of the season for the San Jose Sharks.
Something to think about if you're in the press box looking for the 3-star selection. Here's Janney in the slot, surrounded quickly by Canucks. So nobody to pass to, ends up on the stick of Ronning. Cliff Ronning skates it on the stick of Alexander Mogilny, who's been a bit quiet here in the 3rd period. Cullimore whacks it to the corner. Ronning behind the Shark net. Ronning looks to center, puts it in the slot, but nobody home there except Jason Morris, San Jose. Lume back at center. Loose puck in front of the San Jose bench. Aksuda onside, but gives it away to Ray Whitney. Loose in the corner of the Vancouver end. Lume touches up. That'll be icing on San Jose. Face off with 11:03 to go in the 3rd.
Well, Jeff Friesen started this season. He's got number 39. That was his, well, that was the number he wore last year, but he started this year with number 19. One of his favorite players growing up is Detroit's Steve Yzerman. So Friesen goes to 19, stinks the joint out, doesn't get a sniff in the offensive zone. He says, the heck with that. I had a pretty good rookie year last year, and I'm switching back to 39. He says, and Yzerman stuck me the other day. Don't like him as much anymore.
Well, Friesen, 15 goals in his rookie season, was 4th in the Calder Trophy battling. Maybe that 39 will back to that. Maybe we'll get him going. Peterson in the corner. Trevor Linden. Jim Sandlot, his 2nd tour of duty in Vancouver, sends it to the corner. Terreri well out of his net. Sandlot, nobody to center to. Owen Nolan for San Jose. Jelena, Sandlot has time to wind up. Wide glove side. Terreri sprawling, but nobody there for the rebound for Vancouver. Now it's Hennigan. And Terreri taking no chances with the lively boards here at the Shark Tank. Covers up.
Well, for the Vancouver Canucks, their captain, Trevor Linden, I got to tell you, if he's not playing well, there's good reason. You see, there's been a murderer in the Vancouver area, the Abbotsford murderer. And this fella murdered a 16-year-old Tanya Smith, and he's got females on his mind. Trevor Linden's wife was on the list of the next suspect. This guy had sent to the police station in Vancouver. So the Canucks have had a private investigator and security guards protecting his wife, Christina. Not only that, but shortly after that was made public, there was another guy that was going towards their house, and he was actually an autograph seeker, and they were thinking that this was the murderer. And so there's been plenty to think about for Trevor Linden. The other guy, though, he was just a kind of a strangler. He wasn't a guilty party, so they're still after this one guy. It's just a sick situation, and so Trevor Linden, excuse him if his mind isn't completely on this game of hockey.
Yeah, it sort of puts everything in perspective, doesn't it? Loose puck at center. Baranek dumps in for Vancouver. Russ Courtnall. I understand the Canucks have hired some security help too in that regard.
Glad you listened to the story.
Oh, I did, as you chronicled for us. And a whistle and a penalty going to be called here for high sticking, I believe, by Mick McGough. You've been getting me all night long. I had to get you back.
Yeah, a private investigator was on top of it, and that's how they followed the other guy that came to their house.
McGough going to call a penalty here, I believe, on Jamie Baker of San Jose for a high stick.
Well, I remember early on in this hockey game when San Jose they were guilty of several situations where they were taking penalties, and Vancouver got a chance on the power play in the early goings of this hockey game. So Baker's going to go off, well, for a high sticking, and Vancouver gets back on the power play. They did score one power play goal, and that was Roman Aksuda's 9th goal of the year at 2:49 of this game. That has been the last goal of the hockey game for Vancouver. And remember, they had a 5-on-3. They could have put this game away. And so you credit the penalty killing unit of the San Jose Sharks killing off that 5-on-3 for just over a minute. And really, they really came back strong because of that. So now Rick Lee and his power play unit have an opportunity, led by their highest scoring fella, Alexander Mogilny.
You got Mogilny out there with Linden and also Mike Ridley. Hennigan and Jeff Brown, but San Jose clears to center. Threatens to carry into the Vancouver end. Linden for. Brett Hennigan quickly for Linden, but Linden was going the other way. Brown picks it up. Alexander Mogilny just sends it into the slot, but Peterson is there to clear it out. Tom Mees and Darren Pang from the Shark Tank in San Jose. A weird bounce off the boards, and the Sharks are there to clear it.
That was an awful bounce.
Terreri did a double take. Fortunately for he and the Sharks, a white jersey was near that thing. Very lively boards all around this rink. Brett Hennigan met at the blue line and stood up by Jason Moore. Trevor Linden in the slot. Bothered by Owen Nolan, and a nice job by Nolan.
Real good job putting pressure on the blue line, and Vancouver is yet to get it set up down deep, and that would allow the guys on the point a little more room. They get to even set it up inside the offensive zone.
Courtnall got some room, cruises in. Russ Courtnall stick to the corner by Terreri. Courtnall. Ronning and Courtnall. Lume at the left point. 30 seconds left on this Vancouver power play. Intercepted by San Jose's Moore, and he'll skate it to center and done.
Well, good to see Jason Moore's back anyway after going over on that right leg, right ankle area. Good shift.
Ricky Lume broken up at center momentarily, and now controlled by Bodger. 5 seconds. Jamie Baker will be out of the box. Lume skates in onside. Baker is free. The team's back at 5 aside, and Nolan tries to hit Baker. Baker skates in onside. Baker, the pass to Whitney, broken up by Babbage. Nice job there by the veteran Dave Babbage. Lume picks up a loose one for Vancouver, up to Aksuda. Fans applauding the penalty-killing efforts of the Sharks as Aksuda skates in. Doug Bodger lifting it high to center. And Brown will have to go back for it. Bellemore back pass off the boards to Brown. Bellemore, who spent time with the Syracuse Crunch last year before being called up by Vancouver.
So many guys. Now we've got San Jose, 5 guys inside the blue line before Vancouver had a sniff at that puck.
Play on behind the net. Terreri down on one knee, just watching it all. And the Sharks clear it again.
One thing I had noticed in their victory against the Chicago Blackhawks was a semi-left-wing lock system that maybe there's some influence with Ray Shepherd, who played, of course, last year so successfully in Detroit. When they had the lead against the Blackhawks, they utilized that a great deal, and you've seen a little bit of that here in the third period. It's a very comfortable 5-2 lead. Time to work on some systematic things that will help you down the stretch.
When's the last time San Jose could say they had time to work on things? Doesn't happen often. 2 wins on the year here against St. Louis, on the road at Chicago. Only the Sharks win the Central Division. Behind the net, Vancouver trying to center. Scott Walker, he's double teamed. And Jamie Baker chops it down the ice. It'll be an icing call, but a good job of the Sharks to relieve pressure that was building in their end. 5:52 to go in the third period. And something to cheer about for San Jose. Rick Lee's team trailing by 3. Well, Kevin Constantine can afford to give that gum a little bit of a rest tonight. Not chewing so furiously as he was in the first period. He looks up at the scoreboard and sees, my God, we got a 3-goal lead with under 6 minutes to play.
You know, he's one of only 2 U.S.-born coaches in the National Hockey League. You know who the other one is?
Yes, our former ESPN colleague, Mike Milbury. Martin Gelinas with a shot on Terreri. Mike was further frustrated tonight as his team was beaten by Tampa Bay 2-1.
Little trade around the National Hockey League. The Calgary Flames, off to a miserable 3-15-4 start, acquired little-used forwards Yves Sirois and Craig Ferguson from the Montreal Canadiens tonight for a 96 8th-round draft pick. So the Canadiens helping out the Calgary Flames. That's something they talked about the last game that we did when they were in New York, getting a couple more forwards, and then maybe trying to talk Nieuwendyk into a deal.
Well, Calgary needs it. They're just not that talented a hockey club. That's the bottom line there. Here come the Sharks in the slot.
It's loose.
Score! 6-2 San Jose. And Ray Whitney did a lot of the work and gets rewarded. And Owen Nolan was in on that play as well. What a scramble in front of McLean.
Well, everybody was inside that blue paint, it looked like, and McLean was flat out on his back. But Ray Whitney's had a very solid game. Question for why he has not been scoring or making offensive plays. Oh, did he take a hit? He got smoked by Sandlak, but the puck was kept in at the blue line. Hedekin hits Friesen. Now the puck's loose. Here's Whitney. There's Whitney right there. Little backhand hoister up over prone goaltender Kirk McLean.
Whitney only 1 goal coming into the action tonight. Gets on the score sheet there and a 6-2 San Jose lead. So the second goal of the year for Whitney. And it's only a matter of countdown. Vancouver will be happy to get on a plane home. They will end up this road trip 1-4-1, and this will be the only game of the road trip, Darren, that wasn't a 1-goal affair or a tie.
They had some tight ones, and they've covered a lot of ground. They got a lot of work to do, obviously, in Vancouver, and now the pressure increases even more so. Saying before, the pressure in Vancouver, a lot of it, too, has to do with the fact, well, we'll get into that, but it's the Vancouver Grizzlies. That's the pressure part there.
Back with more of that in a moment, yeah, I think so.
Welcome back to the San Jose Arena, where Ray Whitney made the play, crosses the blue line. Now watch, he's in the open ice. To the right of him, he's not even going to see Jim Sandlak come in here. Oh, terrific hit by Sandlak, a much bigger and stronger player. But look at Whitney. Well, gets right back up and at her. And now he's going to just drive to the net and eventually hoist that little backhander up over Kirk McLean.
And the Sharks have scored 6 consecutive goals after falling behind 2-0 in the opening minutes of the first period. Puck over the glass into the crowd for a faceoff. With 4:22 to go in this game. College hoops on the news Tuesday. Indiana will be at home after coming back from the Great Alaska Shootout to take on Notre Dame. This Hoosier State intra-state rivalry. Bobby Knight's Hoosiers taking on Notre Dame. Notre Dame beating Akron today by 11 points. Pat Garrity led the Notre Dame Fighting Irish with 18. So Garrity and the Irish taking on Indiana Tuesday night, 7:30 Eastern on the news. College hoop season in full swing.
We were talking about that trade that the Montreal Canadiens made with the Calgary Flames. You have to think that Kirk Muller and Joe Nieuwendyk, Curtis Joseph, if these guys sometime soon, one of them anyway, will be dealt. Kirk Muller still remains in Anaheim right now, practicing there with his agent Michael Barnett, who lives there.
O'Donnell can't control a pass, and another good scoring chance. Canucks look like a tired team, and they have every reason to be. I think if Mick McGough just allowed the clock to run, and get out of here. O'Donnell, meanwhile, wants a face-off to prolong the agony, and he'll get it with 3:41 to go.
You know, I'd correct myself. I had said earlier that it would be Kevin Miller with the game-winning goal, but no, it's number 22 White. It's Ulf Dahlen. His 7th goal of the season made it a 3-2 hockey game in this game, a game in which at one point the Vancouver Canucks led 2-0. It is not the first game this year that the Canucks have squandered a lead. In fact, one of their coaches today was saying, yeah, 2-0 lead's a worst lead in hockey, a 2-goal lead.
I wonder who he heard that from. Maybe the guy to my right. Ragnarsson sends it back into the Vancouver end, but we're going to have a penalty on Vlastimil Krupa, and he knew it. He was in the penalty box before Mick McGough got his hand up in the air. He just went right to the box, didn't pass go, didn't collect $200. So Vancouver will have the power play. Following our game tonight, it's the NHL Tonight, the hockey show for the hockey fans. All the scores, all the highlights, all the stories around the National Hockey League. That's on the NHL Tonight. And there is the aforementioned Vlastimil Krupa.
He used to wear number 26, but once Ray Shepherd was acquired from Detroit, Krupa, younger than Ray Shepherd, gave it up and chose number 44.
Cullimore over to Jyrki Lume. I like that effort by Krupa, giving that number away, respecting his elders.
Well, you can only make a trade if that number's available. For example, Pavel Bure gives up number 10, goes to number 96, and so you trade for Tikkanen, who's always worn number 10. This is the
who's not here tonight.
Steve Thomas, number 32, goes to New Jersey and wears number 32. You have to have an opening if you're going to make a trade.
Absolutely. 2:58 to go in this one. You know, Tikkanen is probably watching this game tonight in Canada, saying, "I'm glad I'm not there tonight."
Well, I mean, it's exactly Vancouver. You had said it earlier, and you're right. And many players are talking about the fact that there's not that grittiness there, and there's, you know, a lot of times you make some changes and you lose some of that character, and you know, then you want to instill a system, and maybe the personnel's not right for what you have. And you know, I think more teams thought that the obstruction rules would come into play, so you go to the speedier, wide open style. But there you are seeing it. I mean, you're seeing the play. I mean, we're not. It's going back to the old stuff, whether you like it or not. I mean, I know they're doing a good job of covering. Oh my goodness!
Terreri gives it away. Gave it away to Tim Hunter, but give it away nonetheless. Unfortunate it wasn't converted. You think the calls are going back to the old hooking and grabbing and stuff?
Oh, I mean, there are so many games where I think there's no change whatsoever, and then there's games where you see a lot of calls being made.
So in other words, there's no consistency. And that's not good, but it takes time. Here's Brown from the right corner. Hennigan in the corner. Peterson is on him. Maybe it's time for Gretzky to get on the phone again.
No, I wouldn't say that.
There's a breakaway for Sean Donovan. Sing us a chorus of Mellow Yellow. Donovan scores, and it's 7-2.
Well, you're going to win on home ice. Win it big. They scored 7 against the St. Louis Blues. They got 7 tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. Fortunate break through the neutral zone. Right-hand shot. Donovan makes a nice little fake here. And McLean, well, he sort of just tossed in the towel on that one. McLean's going to follow him now. Now, once the move's made to McLean's left, he's beat. He's already going the wrong way. Neat little move by Donovan, who's got his 6th goal of the year.
So Sean Donovan sends him home happy. They start to clear out of the Shark Tank. A 5-goal lead. Owen Nolan, he wants some more. Cross ice to Sikora off of his stick. Lost one in that deflects high into the glove of McLean, who leaves it for Cullimore. Canucks will go home 1-4-1 on this 6-game road trip, their longest of the season. Sharks still have a 7-gamer and an 8-gamer coming up later in the year.
Yeah, their next 7 of 9 on home ice. This is exactly the way you want to start it.
I think it's imperative, Darren, with their schedule after that they do something in this home.
No question about that.
Icing on Vancouver with 1:21 to go.
Still a lot of time in this very young NHL hockey season, but you can't wait it out forever. When you've only got 2 wins heading into this game tonight, it's got to happen. It's got to happen soon to get back into the race. Funnier things have happened, but for Kevin right now, he's in a position where his team is gaining a little more confidence. He talked about his demeanor, a little better, a little more upbeat. And this sort of ices this baby right here with Donovan's goal. 7th goal of the game for the San Jose Sharks. Now, you know, it would be unrealistic for the San Jose Sharks to think that they come in every game as McLean makes a glove save and with disgust throws it over to the corner. But it would be unrealistic to think that the San Jose Sharks are going to come into this building and beat every team by this score.
Yes.
But what is impressive about what happened in this game is they trailed 2-0.
Yes.
2 minutes and 49 seconds into the game, but somehow maintained their composure and bounced back and regrouped and got themselves in a position to win the game.
And they'll have a few days off and welcome the Calgary Flames. Misery loves company. The Flames will be in here Wednesday night. This win will tie them with the Flames in the standings. Calgary's got to deal with Chicago tomorrow night. Terreri out of his net to stop the deflection attempt by Ronick. Crowd wants more with under a minute to go here. Shepard will dump into the corner and Odgers will chase. It was Odgers who had a good chance a moment ago on the glove save by McLean. Wanting with Oksuda. Roger behind the net. Sharks have something to build on. There's no doubt about that. Remains to be seen if they indeed can build on it. Under 30 seconds left, and the crowd will tell you the story tonight. Like a playoff game. These have to be the best fans in the National Hockey League. Chris Terreri and the San Jose Sharks, only their 3rd victory of the year, and you'd think they'd won a playoff series. Our final score, San Jose 7, the Vancouver Canucks 2. We'll be back with more from the San Jose Arena. Remember, the NHL tonight is just moments away.